Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Arun Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of CSE, Mallareddy Engineering College. Today, I am going to take a lecture on cloud computing. These are the topics we are going to cover: introduction to cloud computing, and what are the advantages of cloud computing, and different types of cloud computing, and different service models in cloud computing. Let us come to the introduction to the cloud computing. The term cloud itself is network or internet. The cloud computing is the delivery of computing services such as servers, storage, database, networking, software, analytics, intelligence, and more over the cloud. That means over the cloud in the sense internet. Over the internet, we are getting the we in the sense here cloud service. There are two entities. One is cloud service provider, and another one is cloud service user. Cloud service user is getting the different kind of services from the cloud service provider over the internet. The different kind of services are servers, storage, database, networking, software, analytics, intelligence, and many more. Whatnot, everything, anything, XAS, AS, that means anything as a service we are getting from the cloud service provider. We, in the sense, here the cloud service user. Here in the diagram, we can able to see that the cloud service users are getting the services from the cloud service provider over the internet. See, different definitions are there for cloud computing. Let us see some of definitions of cloud computing. According to the Gartner, the formal definition is a style of computing in which scalable and elastic IT-enabled capabilities are delivered as a service to external customers using internet technologies. That means cloud service user is at one place, and provider is at a remote location, and provider is maintaining all the IT resources, and user is getting those resources over the internet. Internet. Okay, and another definition, let us see. Forrester Research provided its own definition of cloud computing as a standardized IT capability. That means IT capability is services, software, or infrastructure delivered via internet technologies in a pay per use and self-service way. That means we already know that there is a cloud service user and a cloud service provider. And cloud, whenever the cloud service user requires IT services like infrastructure, infrastructure in the sense hardware devices like computing capacity, storage, and networking devices. Uh, the user can get those services over the internet whenever he requires. That is on demand. Pay per use in the sense what extent, how much time he has been access to those services, how much time he utilized those services. For the time and for that resource only he'll pay. That is pay for use. And self-service, whenever he requires the services, no need to go anywhere. He can get the services within few clicks. How can he get the services is in the market there are many cloud service providers are there. They'll maintain a website, and that means there is a console of that cloud service provider. User need to register with them. After registration, the all the cloud services which are provided by that particular cloud service provider will be able to visible on their console, and whatever the resource we wanted or cloud service user required, he can opt that, and he can serve himself. That means that is self-service way. And with the National Institute of Standard and Technology. As per this, the definition is cloud computing is a model for enabling ubiquitous, convenient, on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. The resources are networks, servers, storage, applications, and services that can be rapidly provisioned and released with a minimal management effort of service provider interaction. That means there are many services. Um, the cloud service provider has to pool IT resources, and those pooled IT resources can be self-serviced by the cloud service users. And with minimal effort of a cloud service provider, the services can be served to the cloud service user. That is another definition. Let us see one more definition according to EL. Cloud computing is a specialized form of distributed computing that introduces utilization models for remotely provisioning scalable and measured resources. That means a cloud service provider maintains a data center at remote location, and a cloud service user is somewhere else, and he is getting the resources over the internet. And what for whatever the services he is accessing, for that services only he is paying. That's what it is, the measured services. Okay, these are some kind of definitions for the cloud computing. And you can see with all the devices, cloud services are able to access like infrastructure, platform, and applications, whatnot. Everything as a service, cloud service user can access. And let us see what is the traditional environment and what is the cloud environment. Okay, in traditional environment, everything has to be taken care by the particular organization who is maintaining the servers and all those things. See here, let us take example. One organization has to maintain its own traditional way. It needs to maintain their servers by them only. That means they need to purchase the server. That means they need to purchase the hardware, and they need to keep in at a particular place, and need to provide some cooling to that servers, and need to provide security, and need to provide electricity, and need to provide applications, and uh, everything has to be taken care by the that particular organization only. And they need to handle the virtualization, installing operating system, everything, application installation, everything has to be taken care by the that particular organization only. But if we take cloud environment, here there is a cloud service provider. He maintains that particular cloud service provider maintains the thing, infrastructure based on the services getting by the cloud service user. The responsibilities of a cloud service provider and cloud service user are varying. Okay, that is the difference between traditional environment and cloud environment. In traditional environment, everything has to be taken care by the particular organization, and in cloud environment, no need to maintain all this infrastructure and all. The organization can opt for a rental basis. See, this is the traditional environment. In this, everything, networking, storage, servers, virtualization, operating system, middleware, runtime, and data application, all these are need to be handled by the organization itself. If you see cloud environment, in this cloud environment based on the service model opting by the cloud service user, the responsibilities are changing. See here in this um, packaged software, everything has to be, this is traditional environment actually. Everything has to be maintained by the organization itself. And in this infrastructure as a service, infrastructure is provided by the cloud service provider, and the remaining part installation of middleware, that means hypervisor, VMware, like that, and runtime environment and the data applications has to be taken care by the cloud service user. And if you take platform as a service, in this platform as a service, not only infrastructure, runtime environment also, or execution environment also will be provided by the cloud service provider. And the responsibility of cloud service user is just he has to handle the data and applications. And if you take software as a service, software as a service, in this infrastructure and execution environment, as well as applications, data, everything will be maintained by the cloud service provider only. Just cloud service user need to utilize the services. That's it. And if you see here, actually these are the service models. We'll discuss this later. See, these are some of the cloud service providers in the market today. Uh, Amazon Web Services, who has started cloud initially, then remaining all comes into this cloud environment. And see, these are some of the cloud service providers who are there in the market: Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, Terramark, and IBM Cloud, VMware, DigitalOcean, Rackspace, Joinit. All these, not only these, many are there. Here we are mentioning a few. And these are the benefits of cloud applications as utilities over internet, and manipulate, configure apps online, no softwares are required, and online environment and deployment tools, resource available on network, on-demand self-service, cost-effective, high efficiency, reliability, and flexibility. See, cost effective. This is a cost effective. Instead of in traditional environment, if anything we wanted, we need to purchase that, and we need to utilize it. But in cloud computing environment, no need of purchasing it. We can get it for the rental. Whenever we use that service, for that time only we are paying. So the cost is drastically decreased. Okay, and speed. Whenever in the traditional environment, whenever we require anything, hardware need to be installed, we need to purchase it, and then we need to install it, and on top of it, we need to install operating system and other softwares. It takes time. Before that, we need to get the permission from the management or higher officials to purchase it. It takes some time, but in cloud environment, no need of waiting for waiting for more time. Whenever we require, just with a few clicks, we can get the services. And scalability. Scalability in the sense, whenever we require more services or more, we can get it. That means we can scale up and we can scale down. Example, suppose I'm utilizing one server, and I require at the point of time 100 servers. Then within few clicks, I can increase the number of servers into 100. That is rapid elasticity. Uh, And whenever I'm not um I don't require any servers, then I can scale down. That is rapid elasticity and productivity. Productivity definitely affects because in traditional environment, we only need our organization only need to look after this infrastructure as well as development. So concentration on the production will get will be less. Um, Whenever the infrastructure is taken care by the cloud service provider, then the organization will concentrate more on productivity. Definitely the productivity will get increased. And reliability. A backup and recovery of data are less expensive and very fast for business continuity. Whenever in traditional environment, if we wanted to take a backup, we need to purchase storage and we need to take the backup. But in cloud environment, we will take the backup of our data and we will store it into the glacier. Whenever we are storing it in the glacier, they'll charge very nominal cost, so it is reliable. And security, many cloud vendors offers a broad set of policies, technologies and controls that strengthen our data security. And those are advantages. And now let us discuss the essential characteristics of cloud computing. On demand self service. On demand cloud whenever the cloud service user requires a service, then only he'll get the service by few clicks. That is self service. That is on demand self service. And broad network access. Broad network access in the sense wherever you are there in the world, you can access your data if you store your data in the cloud. And resource pooling, the vendor in the sense cloud service provider pools the resources, IT resources. And the cloud service provider serves multiple clients using multi-tenant model. That multi-tenant model in the sense one resource can be allotted for multiple users. That is multi-tenant model with different physical and virtual resources in a dynamic way. Next, rapid elasticity. We already discussed when we discussed the scalability. Rapid elasticity, whenever you are require more number of services or more number of servers, you can rapidly increase the number of servers. Or if you not requires those servers or storage, whatever it may be, not only servers, storage or network devices, if you are not require those, then you can scale down. Whenever you require more, then you can scale up. Whatever the number of servers or number of requires, then you can scale up and scale down rapidly. And next essential characteristic is measured services. For we can we are chargeable. Our cloud service user is chargeable for what how much time he has been used the services. Okay, the services are measured. What time, how much time it is being used, what service utilized by the user. Okay, it is measured services. Next, coming to the types of cloud. There are actually four types of clouds are there. Um, Public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud, and community cloud. These are called as deployment models also. Public cloud is nothing but the cloud resources that are owned and operated by a third-party cloud service provider are termed as public cloud. It delivers computing resources such as servers, software, and storage over the internet. That means here cloud service provider only owns the resources. Just user is using, that is a public cloud. That means for everyone it is open, it can be accessible to all. But coming to the private cloud, the cloud computing resources that are exclusively used inside a single business or organization are termed as private cloud. That means the data or server services are not accessible outside of that organization. A private cloud may physically be located on the company's on-site data center or hosted by a third-party service provider. That means, suppose if you take Infosys and the cloud service provider is AWS to the Infosys, then they can build the private cloud in the Infosys premises, or they may build the private cloud at their own Amazon Web Services own data center. Next, hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is a combination of a public cloud and a private cloud, which is bounded together by technology that allows data applications to be shared between them. Hybrid cloud provides flexibility and more deployment options to the business. Hybrid cloud, in the sense, it is a combination of public cloud and private cloud. They are bounded together and they'll share the data. And there are service models. Actually, three service models are there. One is infrastructure as a service, another one is platform as a service, and another one is software as a service. Infrastructure, in the sense, hardware devices like computing capacity, storage, network devices, all these are comes under infrastructure as a service. Example is AWS Elastic Compute Cloud, EC2. EC2 is one of the service which is offering by the AWS. Likewise, here Microsoft Azure is also providing an instance, and Google Compute Engine also providing an instance. Coming to the platform as a service, example for the platform as a service is AWS Elastic Beanstalk, Google App Engine, and Heroku are the examples for the platform as a service. Here, platform as a service, in the sense, the cloud service provider's responsibility will get increased, and not only provisioning the infrastructure, that means computing capacity, storage, and network devices, also provides the execution environment like virtual machines and runtime environment will be provided by the cloud service provider. Just cloud service users responsibility is maintaining the data and application in deployment and utilizing the application is the responsibility of cloud service user. And cloud service software as a service. Example for the software as a service is Gmail, Trello, Salesforce, CRM, Event Pro, Office 365, Google Docs. All these are comes under SaaS. This is the example for software as a service. And the responsibility of everything will be taken care by the cloud service provider. Just utilizing is cloud service user utilizes the services which are provided by the cloud service provider. That means infrastructure as well as execution environment and application deployment also will be taken care by the cloud service provider. Just cloud service user A will use the applications. See, this is the diagram. We can able to observe that in traditional environment, that is packaged software, everything has to be maintained by the cloud service. No, organization only. Sorry, organization only. But in infrastructure as a service, infrastructure will be provided by the cloud service provider. Remaining, that is execution environment or runtime environment and applications deployment will be taken care by the cloud service user. Coming to the platform as a service, in this uh, infrastructure as well as execution environment will be provided by the cloud service provider, and the cloud service user is just deploying the applications and utilizing it. And finally, coming to the software as a service, everything will be taken care by the, or everything is responsibility of cloud service provider. That is infrastructure, execution environment, application deployment, everything. And the cloud service user just utilizes the services. Okay, thank you.